In this video, we're going to talk about how we can use quadratic functions and equations to help us solve story problems. So first I want to talk about a few steps and then tips for solving story problems. So my first tip is that you should read the story problem. Okay, read it, understand what's happening, write down the information you know and what you need to know and figure out. Okay, you probably need to introduce a variable and define a variable. So maybe your variable is going to be x, and x is going to represent number of kittens or number of dollars. Okay. Number two, I would suggest writing in equations. And then you're probably going to have to do some solving somewhere in there. And then my final the final step is to check your answer. So always at least check to make sure that your answer makes sense. So if you look at the tips column on this page, that's going to help you to just ensure that you are getting the right answer and doing the right things. So first of all, it's helpful to me to think about what do I know in this situation, and then what am I trying to figure out? Okay. You don't need to be asking yourselves extra questions outside of the problem, but just what do you already know and what do they want you to figure out? It's usually helpful to draw a picture or a diagram or sometimes a graph to help you visualize what's going on. And this one I really like. Carefully define your variables. So if you're going to use a letter like X or P or T to represent something in your story problem, write down what that variable means so that you remember its units or what it means in your problem. Also, it's helpful to translate words into symbols. Make sure you're using appropriate units. And at the very end, make sure your answer makes sense. So if you're asking about how fast I can run the mile and you get 1.3 seconds for your answer, you might want to rethink that. It's probably not an appropriate answer. It doesn't make sense. Okay. And then here's a few hints. They're just kind of some helpful ways to help you translate words into symbols. So remember what sum, difference, product, and quotient mean. They refer to a specific operation, either addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. There's also going to be several words that kind of clue you in that you're looking to find something about the vertex. Okay, so if you're trying to find the maximum or the minimum, remember that in quadratics, that refers to the vertex. Other numbers like highest, lowest, biggest, smallest, largest, those are all going to have to do with the maximum or minimum. So it clues you in that you're going to want to look for the vertex and then decide if you want to use if the x value is needed or if the y value is needed. Okay. Now every story problem is obviously different. So in these notes, I have a lot of different examples that we're going to go through some story problems. Work through a couple, and hopefully as we work through these specific problems, you can think about generalizing these ideas so that you can solve your own story problems. So let's look at our first example. A ski club sells calendars to raise money. The profit P in dollars from selling X calendars is given by the equation P of X equals 120X minus X squared. So let's start just by talking about what our variables mean. So our X is the number of calendars. It tells us that in the story problem, so kind of just work back to where they give you the variable in the story problem. And then your P of X, which is equal to your Y value also, is your profit. And I'm going to put a little money sign next to that little dollar sign so we know that that's in dollars. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to sketch a graph of this situation. Now my X values are going to go along the bottom, so that's going to be my number of calendars. And then my Y values are going to go on the vertical axis, and that is going to be the profit. So as we're sketching a graph, we really don't need anything exact. We just want maybe a couple points that are going to help us get a rough idea about what's going on. So I'm just going to take the equation and I am going to rewrite it in standard form. So I'm just going to switch the order of the x squared and the x so that it looks more like standard form. So I have negative x squared plus 120x. And the reason I like doing that is because now I know that my a value is negative, so my graph is going to be down. So I'm just going to write down that my parabola is going to open down. And then I'm just going to get maybe one or two other points on my graph so that I have at least a place to start. Maybe I'll just find the y-intercept for this one. So I'm going to plug in 0 for x. I'll get negative 0 squared plus 120 times 0. And all that's just going to simplify to 0. So that means that my y-intercept is 0. So I'm going to have a point down here at 0, 0. So since all I care about is getting a rough sketch of the graph, I'm just going to use that y-intercept and the fact that I know it's going down to sketch a graph of this. So I'm going to draw just something like this. Okay. And that's not going to be perfect exactly, but it gives me an idea about what's happening. It's basically telling me that if I sell 0 calendars, I'm going to make 0 money. The more calendars I sell at the beginning, the more money I make, right? Because as they go further and further to the right on my x-axis, I'm getting higher on my profit scale. But then I hit some point on my graph where selling more calendars doesn't make me more money. I'm not actually making any more profit. So ideally, this sweet spot in the middle right here, where I'm selling kind of a middle amount of calendars and making the most money, that's what I want to do. So let's go ahead and answer some questions specifically about this situation, this story. So first thing I want to know is how much profit am I going to make if I sell 50 calendars? So if I think back to what my variables are, my number of calendars is my x. So what I'm really saying is when x equals 50, how much money am I making? So I'm just going to go ahead and plug 50 into my equation and then do some simplifying. So these numbers are pretty big. You're definitely going to want to have a calculator nearby. And you'll notice that with a lot of story problems, they're not these nice, neat numbers that we give you on your assignments. They're usually a little bit messier. So I get for my answer 3,500. And since this is dealing with profit, and my profit's in dollars, I can just add a dollar sign and say I'm going to make $3,500 from selling 50 calendars. That's kind of a lot of money. So my next question is, how many calendars do I have to sell in order to make $2,700? Okay, in this case, I know the profit, so I know the y value. So I'm going to go ahead and set up an equation where 2,700 is equal to my function. And here I'm trying to figure out how many calendars or what x value do I need to plug in so that I get $2,700 as my profit. Okay, I'll even put a dollar sign right here. So there are several different ways to solve quadratics. What I'm going to do is I'm first going to get this equation to equal 0. So 0 equals 120x. Whoops, I'm actually going to write it in standard form at the same time too. So 0 equals negative x squared plus 120x minus 2,700. Okay. So now I have this quadratic in standard form. I have a couple options. I can solve it using the quadratic formula, or I could attempt to factor it. I don't really feel like factoring numbers that big, so I am going to use the quadratic formula. I'm just going to come over here on the side and work it out in red. So I'll figure out what A, B, and C are down here. So my A is going to be negative 1, my B is 120, and my C is negative 2,700. Okay, and I'm going to plug those fairly big numbers into my quadratic formula. If you forgot what the quadratic formula is, look in your notes, or if you just Google quadratic formula, it's going to give you this equation. So it's x equals negative b, so negative 120, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times whatever your a value is times whatever your c value is. All of that over 2 times your a value. Okay, now my job is just to simplify. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out my calculator again. I'm going to type in 120 squared minus 4 times negative 1 times negative 2,700. So I'm just simplifying all the stuff that's inside of the square root. And I got 3,600. Then my denominator is going to be negative 2. Now, I wanted to simplify the square root of 3,600. And lucky for us, that's actually an easy one to simplify. It is 60. Okay. And then once I get to this point, I have a bunch of whole numbers, so I'm going to separate this into 120 plus 60 over negative 2, and then negative 120 minus 60 divided by negative 2. And then I'm going to simplify each of these individually. So this top one is going to turn into 30. And you can use your calculator for this. Just be really careful that you don't make any mistakes with order of operations or anything. And this bottom one turns into 90. So then here my answer, I have two answers. I can sell either 30 calendars or I can sell 90 calendars. By selling either number of calendars, I'm going to end up making $2,700 of profit. Okay. All right, let's see what other questions we have about this specific situation. The next thing I want to know is how many calendars must be sold to maximize the profit. So this question is asking me, what do I need to do so that I end up at this top point of my graph? How many calendars do I sell so that I'm getting that maximum amount of profit? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the vertex of my equation. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite the function down here so that we can just work on it in this area. I have p of x equals 120x minus x squared. I'm actually going to rearrange that so it's in a standard form that will be easier for me to identify a, b, and c. So I really want to find my vertex. So I'm going to identify a and b. So my a is -1 and my b is 120. And to find the x value of my vertex in standard form, I do -b over 2 times a, which is going to be -120 over -2, which is equal to 60. Okay. So that 60 is the x value of my vertex. Then to find the y value of my vertex, I'm going to plug that 60 back into my equation. I'm just going to simplify. So go ahead and pull out your calculators. 120 times 60 is 7,200. And then 60 squared is 3,600. 7,200 minus 3,600 is 3,600. Okay. So that means that our vertex happens at 3,600. That's the vertex. Okay. But that's not my answer. My answer is how many calendars do I have to sell? Okay. So let's actually jump back to our graph and let's talk about which one of these numbers is going to be my vertex. Oh, I didn't want to do that. So I know now that this vertex is at the point 60, 3,600. So this tells me that my x value, I have to go over 60, so that's 60 calendars, gives me $3,600 of profit, right? My x value tells me how far over to go on this x-axis, so how many calendars I'm going to hit. And the 3,600 tells me how far up on the profit bar I need to go. So this is actually going to answer the next two questions for me. So the number of calendars I need to sell is 60 calendars. And then the next question is, what is the maximum profit? So the question is, when I sell 60 calendars, how much money do I make? Well, that one we already figured out too. When I sell 60 calendars, I make $3,600 of profit. And that's pretty good. That's what I want to do. So this is going to help me as I start planning this event or this club, that I know that if I can sell 60 calendars, then I'll be able to make that $3,600 of profit.